If you wish to work in Finland and stay for longer than 90 days, you will always need a residence permit. In most cases, you will also need a residence permit to work in Finland for less than 90 days. First, you need to create a user account. You must submit your own application and enter Finland yourself. After you have submitted your application and enter Finland, your employer must add your terms of employment and other required documents to your application using Enter Finland for Employers. In Enter Finland for Employers, your employer can pay for the application before you go and prove your identity, follow the status of your application online, and see when a decision has been made on your application. If your family members are moving to Finland with you, you all can apply for a residence permit at the same time. Your spouse must create a user account and submit his or her own application to Enter Finland. Your children's applications can be sent from your own user account. The Finnish Immigration Service tries to decide your and your family members' applications at the same time, but there are situations when this is not possible. Your family must have sufficient financial resources. Having sufficient financial resources means that you and your family have sufficient funds to live in Finland. If you are unsure of which permit you need, the application finder will help you find the right application. Residence permit for an employed person: restaurant worker, construction worker, cleaner, or childminder. The process of granting a residence permit for an employed person involves labor market testing, which means that the employer must establish whether any labor suitable for the work is available in Finland or within the European Union and European Economic Area within a reasonable time. After assessing the matter, an Employment and Economic Development Office issues a partial decision. After that, the Finnish Immigration Service decides your application. If you have completed a degree in Finland, apply for a residence permit for person with a degree completed in Finland. Residence permit for seasonal work. You are a seasonal worker within the field of agriculture or tourism, and your employment will last for 3 to 9 months. Jobs in forestry, crop production, or at festivals are examples of seasonal work that requires a residence permit. If you are working in Finland with a certificate for seasonal work and want to apply for an extension to it, apply for a first residence permit for seasonal work. Residence permit application for internship. You will complete an internship, do voluntary work, or take part in a working holiday. You're coming to Finland to do an internship or to do voluntary work as part of a voluntary service scheme organized by the European Union or by a non-governmental organization, or to take part in a working holiday as a citizen of Australia, New Zealand, or Japan. Residence permit for a researcher. You are a researcher. You are coming to Finland in order to conduct scientific research, study for a licentiate degree, or prepare a doctoral dissertation. Residence permit application for au pair status. You're coming to Finland to work as an au pair, and you have a written au pair agreement with the host family living in Finland. The purpose of au pairing is to provide a young person aged 17 to 30 an opportunity to become acquainted with the language and culture of the country. Residence permit application to look for work or to start a business. If you have either studied and completed a degree in Finland or completed your research in Finland and you do not yet have a job, the permit must be applied for within 5 years from the date when your residence permit for studies or research expired. Processing times of visa applications. You must submit your application well in advance. You may submit an application no more than 6 months before the start of the intended visit. The processing time of a visa application is 15 days. The processing time may be longer if a more detailed examination of the application is required. For example, the central authorities of other Schengen countries may need to be consulted. Working without a residence permit. There are certain jobs in which you may work without a residence permit. In such cases, the work may last for a maximum of 90 days. If you intend to continue working after 90 days, you must apply for a residence permit. Your residence in Finland must be legal. Your residence in Finland is legal without a residence permit in the following cases. You have a valid visa. You hold a Schengen residence permit granted by another country. You are not required to have a visa to Finland. When can I work without a residence permit? You do not need a residence permit if your residence in Finland is legal. You have been invited to work in Finland, or you have signed a contract to work in Finland. You will work for a maximum of 90 days, and you will be working as an interpreter, a teacher, a specialist or a referee, or a professional artist, a professional coach, a professional athlete, or are a member of an assistance or support team for such a person. You may also perform these tasks without a residence permit if your work lasts 90 days or less. You're a product demonstrator or a film worker, and your employer does not have an office in Finland. You're a sailor and you work on a ship listed in the Register of Merchant Vessels, or if you were hired outside of Finland on a ship that primarily operates between foreign ports. You are an employee of a company that operates in another European Union and European Economic Area country, and you come to Finland to perform temporary acquisition or subcontracting tasks as specified in the regulations concerning the freedom to provide services. You must also have permits that allow you to reside and work in said country, and these permits have to be valid when you finish your work in Finland. You are a member of the personnel for a vehicle owned or controlled by a foreign party, and you drive a vehicle whose task is to transport across the border a load that is to be delivered to or retrieved from a certain destination, or operation in Finland is related to regular service between municipalities, at least one of which is located abroad, and you do not reside in Finland. You are the leader of a tourist group traveling to Finland from abroad, and your employer or contractor does not have an office in Finland. As the leader of the tourist group, you arrive in Finland together with the group and also leave the country together with the group. If you intend to continue working even after the period of 90 days, you need to apply for a residence permit. If you do not have a residence permit when the time limit of 90 days expires, your right to work will end. In this case, you can continue working only after you have been granted a residence permit. Guide: How to apply for a visa in Finland. We recommend having the following information at hand before you start passport for traveling abroad. Address in Finland. Details of the inviting person or organization. Itinerary. Please note, the application form should be filled in using the Latin alphabet. The application form should be completed in English. Fields marked with an asterisk are mandatory. The printout of the application form will be only in English. If you need to modify the application after you have clicked the Finalist Application button, you must create a new application. Print and sign the application and deliver it, along with the required supporting documents, to the Visa Application Center for submission within 90 days. If you are a family member of an European Union citizen who is covered by the European Union Free Movement Directive, you may submit your application either at a Visa Application Center or at nearest Finnish mission. If a Visa Application Center is not available, please contact the nearest Finnish mission. Remember to book an appointment for submission. Additional information: processing of your visa application will begin only after you have submitted the printed and signed application with all supporting documents to the Visa Application Center or Finnish mission and have paid the visa fee. Applications sent in electronic form cannot be processed. It is not possible to submit an application by email, mail, or fax. You can edit the visa application form for 90 days before the application will be automatically erased. Your online service account will be erased 30 days after the submission. To sign in the online application service later again, you'll need your registered email ID and password. For more information regarding Schengen visas and application process, please visit Finnish Mission web pages. Finalize application. Please note that once you click the Finalist Application button, you can no longer modify your application. When you click the Finalist Application button, your application will be stored in your account and will be waiting to be submitted at the Visa Application Center or Finnish Mission. After finalizing your visa application form, you must print it out and sign it. To print the form, go to the front page of the portal and click Print Application. Please submit the signed visa application form along with the supporting documents to the Visa Application Center of Finland or Finnish Mission. You can also print your completed visa application form at the Visa Application Center. Finnish missions don't provide printing service.